channel, Johanna North. So last week I posted a vlog about the 5 things I most hate about India. You can also find the link to that video on the description below. Like I say on that video too, there are also tons of things that I love here. And this being Valentine's week, I thought that it's only appropriate that we focus on love this week. So this is my vlog about the 5 things that I absolutely love about India. Number 5, I absolutely love the mango season. During that time, my favorite fruit, mango, is better than anything else that I could have. I loved mangoes already in Finland, but the first time that I ever traveled to India, which was in late May in 2016, and had my first taste of the fresh mango from the market in Delhi, I was just mind blown. It was the tastiest, juiciest, absolutely sweetest thing that I had ever had. It's too bad that we don't get the mangoes during Valentine's, because rest assured that I would just love to have a box full of mangoes as a gift from my boyfriend. He should hear this hint and get me something that is even nearly as good. So, number 4. And don't get me wrong, I'm not all about food, but isn't it just the best thing in the world? And I just absolutely love Indian food. Not necessarily the dishes that you get in all the restaurants and cafes, but the home-cooked Indian meals are the best thing that I could imagine. Except for the mangoes, of course. I could just live my whole life with the traditional Indian veg dishes, and I'd be a happy girl. Even in Finland, I choose to cook the Indian way. So I, for example, forced my mom to buy me a pressure cooker so I could make my delicious dals in Finland too. Yep, it's like dals and veggies all the way here at Casa Johanna. And here in South India, I just couldn't imagine anything better than picking a street food stall and getting my masala dosa there. Oh my god, now I'm hungry again. Number 3, which is a really good thing, because as you can see, I really love my Indian food and I could just keep eating all the time because it's so tasty. So number 3 is the women in their saris, which to me symbolizes the way that your size and weight and body shape isn't the most important thing in the Indian society. In the West, there's so much pressure for us girls to look a certain way and be a certain body type and diet ourselves. I spent my whole life obsessing my figure and my weight, and even though I was making progress with it already in Finland, it's something that I really learned here in India by watching the beautiful women around me. In Finland, I would have never had the guts to reveal my tummy. Having a cropped blouse and pants with it or a skirt with it seemed like an impossible idea, but watching the women in their saris who just no matter their age, looks or size, they just carry the saris with all the pride that they could have, and I absolutely love it. They are all so beautiful. So next up, number 2, which I feel especially well goes together with the Valentine's love theme, which is the Indian generosity. I have a very good example of this from my first road trip in the Himalayas in 2016 when we were in Himachal Pradesh. I think we were in Sangla, and we were stopping for breakfast on our motorbike. Yeah, we stopped, and I then noticed that a small bag had dropped somewhere in our hour's drive, and the bag contained some really important things. I think it had my passport, and it had my old film camera, which I had got from my dad, and it had lots of small precious things in there, and I was just panicking that, oh my god, we had already been driving for an hour, and there are so many important things there, I'm never going to get it back, because for example in Finland I would never ever see it again. We decided that we'd drive back before we'd be in too much of a hurry, So we started driving towards Chitkul where we had started in the morning, and then just after 5 minutes drive, we saw this big rock, and on top of that was my small bag. And I was just like, oh my god, this is the best day of my life. Who picks it up and puts there to wait for its owner? And no one had stolen it, and it was there. All my valuable belongings were there. And behind that rock, there was this small humble hut. And I saw that there were people there doing their daily morning routines. And they were looking at me and waving that, which seemed that they were the ones to put it up there, and they were happy that it was me and I had found my bag. So I decided that I wanted to thank them for this generosity and offer a finder's fee. So I think that I had a 500 rupee note, and I went to say thank you and was trying to give them the money, which is like, in Finland people would even expect that of course you are going to give them a finder's fee, and which I think was just the appropriate thing to do. The mother of the family who was there to welcome me, she was like, oh no, they would never take my money, and it was their pleasure to do this thing for me. And then they invited us in for chai, and I was just like, oh my god, first they save my belongings, they will not accept a finder's fee, and then they invite us in their humble hut where they obviously don't have that much, and they're offering us chai with biscuits, and they just seem to be so happy to meet me and be of help. And to me, this is honestly the best experience that I have about humankind ever in my life. And this is one of my most cherished memories. And I was so happy that I got this experience of the goodness and generosity of people in India. And this is even not the only example. The people around are always so eager to at least try to help, and will always invite you to their house. And there's this saying that guest is God. I don't know what it would be exactly in Hindi, but this was also something that I was told on my very first day ever in India, that guest is God, and the people here will always pride themselves over their generosity and kindness towards the other people. Number 1, this is something that is especially important to me, because I feel a bit sad that this is something that is not as present in the Western cultures, or especially my home country Finland, which is the family values. My idea of what family is might be a bit different from the Indian idea. I don't feel any need to communicate with all the cousins and aunties and people that I barely even know or haven't met in 20 years or something like that. But especially with the nuclear family, I feel like the Indian mentality towards the importance of that family is very, very important. Your home is always open to the family. Yeah, especially with the parents. Unlike in Finland, where it's a kind of even embarrassing to live with your parents after you turn 18, and especially when you're a grown up, it would be like no one would ever live with their parents. It would be just like, what, are you crazy? But I really love the Indian idea that it's a big bunch of family, and I really love the idea of having so many people to take care of and care about. This has also made me value my family in Finland more. For example, whenever I am in Finland, I live with my mother, and I would definitely not disregard the idea that one day we will also share the house with my boyfriend's parents. I think that's actually a very lovely idea, and I can't wait for that day. Anyways, that was my one last point today of all the things that I absolutely love about India. If you have some notions to share with me, please do that in the comments, and you can also go check my Instagram and check my website too. I hope that by this video you can see that I'm definitely not someone who hates India. There is so much more that makes me happy here, and that I feel I'm very lucky to get in my life living here. And I just love India, and thank you for watching this video. This is my soundproof studio.